Those who initiate change will have a better opportunity to manage the change that is inevitable. Change, people understand change, they take action according to that. By any chance, do you remember this girl? Yes, you are right. She's Greta Thunberg from Sweden, who has started protest against the climate change outside the Sweden parliament, and now she's a viral girl. Climate change, it's a buzzword, but what our world leaders are doing? Are they doing anything? Are they bothered about that? Well, President Donald Trump thinks that global warming is nothing, but it's just a thing that Chinese industries, Chinese people have introduced to beat the competition in the American market. Scott Morrison didn't attend this summit even he was in US at that time. Countries like India, they think that they can reduce their greenhouse emissions by 2050, but they are still stuck in their coal projects till 2022. Countries like European Union, they have their own milestones to achieve, they have their own standards for greenhouse emissions, but in vain. They are not contributing much towards mitigating the climate change. Climate change that is very urgent, but people are not trying to understand the urgency of the situation that the little girl sees. Why? Because they are resistant to any organizational change. They are stuck in their own conventional approaches from the centuries. They are just buzzing about the economic development, the eternal economic development that they wish to achieve without doing anything more for Mother Nature. They don't want to change anyways because they see money and profits at the cost of nature. People like Greta and other teenagers are protesting for the same. So, lastly, I would like to suggest that it's a high time to act upon our own ways, to mend our ways, to change, to be ready for that change. We should also learn about Scott's leading change model, 8 steps. We ought to learn this model and we ought to know that change is a process, it's not an event. We ought to learn change management in order to mitigate the climate change. That's it. Your questions and queries are welcomed.